5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch me. Level up.
Hi, ladies. To those of you who are new to this space, my name is Michelle Richey, and I am the founder and creator of She Is Magazine. I am so happy that you are sharing this space with me. I wanted to be one of the first women to wish you a happy International Women's Day. What an honor it is to celebrate with you, to highlight you, and just to say, you're doing a good job. You go, girl. Keep up the good work. We're all cheering for you. We are your tribe. Listen, our cover this month is Judge Lynn Toler. I had an amazing time interviewing her, sitting down, just chatting. We laughed. She just gave so much wisdom and so much insight. So I wanted to extend that discussion with you all by sharing the video of the interview, but I also want to launch a book club in the month of April. Yes, we are going to be discussing her book, the book we talked about in the video. It's called Dear Sonali, Letters to the Daughter I Never Had. It has so much practical wisdom. We talk about self-love, we talk about self-care, and just girl stuff, just lady stuff. So go on Amazon and order the book. We're going to get together on a Zoom and discuss all of the wonderful wisdom that she gave us that we can use in our everyday life. I want to take just another minute to say thank you so much for your support. I could not do this without my amazing team. I want to thank them. Y'all make this girl really, really happy. Thank you so much. Enjoy International Women's Day. It's about you, sis. I just want you to know that you rock. We rock together. And when you win, I win. Y'all have an amazing month. Talk to you soon.
And I can have it all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch me.
On track. Everybody knows you from divorce court. Everybody knows you as Judge Lynn. But there's so much more to you than that. Been, reading up on you and studying for our interview. What is it that you want people to know about your wife, your mom? Let us know about the Judge Lynn that we don't see on TV.
I guess I'm just always searching for stuff. You know what I mean? Searching for the next thing to do, searching for, I get bored easily. So I always have to, find something new to do, new projects, new things. And, I'm a late comer to really enjoying day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And I've just started to do that. And
Yeah.
so lifelong learner. I think that
Awesome.
is the best way to describe me.
Absolutely. And so you've got children. Tell us about that. And you've been married a long time. You got a lot of good wisdom.
Right. Yeah. I married a man with 4 sons.
Right.
And our oldest is now 50.
Wow.
And then I had 2 more boys. And my oldest is 28 and my baby's 25.
Wow. Okay. Great.
All boys.
All boys. That's incredible. Another one of the things that you are, Judge Lynn, is an author.
Yeah, I tell you, when I did my first TV show, Power of Attorney, forever ago, like 2001, left the bench to do that. Show did not continue, but so I was home with my kids for 5 years, and I always wanted to write a book about my mother because I think she had such an extraordinary sense about people and things. And I think that to the extent that I ever say anything that's any good, it's a function of what she taught me. So
Yeah.
I wrote my mother's rules as a way to take what she taught me, tease it out, and put it in a form that other people can profit from. And
Yes.
then I just wrote a book called Dear Sonali, because I have so many young 20-some-year-old young ladies who want to talk to me, and I can't talk to them all. So I did the best conversation I could to the daughter I never had in that book.
I'm so glad you segued into Dear Sonali because that book it's like a warm sweater. It's full of humor. I felt like I was in a therapy session. It's so good, and oh my God, I love your writing style. So I want to weave that into our conversation. I so enjoyed the book. So there's a tribe of us out here. We're not 20 something, but you're still you're still Auntie Lynn to so many. I mean, the advice you give on, on divorce court, the way you just kind of break it down, and you speak to so many women, and you speak to their self-worth and their value. And I just want to weave our questions throughout the book, and you talk to Sonali, and you talk to the rest of us. So my
Can I say one thing though?
yes, for sure.
I have begun to love the title Auntie Lynn better than Judge Lynn, because Judge Lynn, I fought for. Auntie Lynn, y'all bestowed upon me. It was like a gift.
Yes.
It was acknowledgement. It
Mhm.
was, you adopted me. I think it is. At first, I was like, Auntie Lynn, you a judge? No, 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 no. These people came from me, and it's a
Yes.
very meaningful title. And I wanted you to know that I love it. And
Oh,
mom, or
absolutely.
whatever else you gonna call me.
Cyberhood. You are forever going to be Auntie Lynn now for sure. So, like I said, I literally laughed out loud several times, and I read the book in your voice. It was hard not to. It was just filled with so many wisdom nuggets. So the first thing I want to ask you, because you talked about so many things and gave so much good advice. Can you tell us about a time when you had to take your own advice?
Oh, just about every day I'm trying to take my own advice. Let me think. You know what? Let's see. I'm trying to think of a good one.
That's good. Hey, we got time.
I had to take my
And if
own.
there's anything that you want to come back to, or just kind of flood
Yeah.
your memory,
Let's talk about something else and let my brain
absolutely
ruminate over
no
that.
worries, no worries. You said something in your book. It was hilarious. You said, if I met my 23-year-old self today, I don't think I'd like her.
Oh, I know I wouldn't like. You know what I mean? I don't think I would, because she was not settled. She was not calm. She was so stuck in her own head that she didn't have the capacity to really be truly empathetic and to be truly, because she was dealing with people who dealing with their own drama
Yes.
interact with you based on their drama, not based upon who you are. So you don't have good, honest reactions, because, and I was so filled with that I, with fear and anxiety and just try to make it through the day, that I don't think that, although I had friends and stuff and I was always nice, I just wasn't thoughtful.
Right.
I wasn't thoughtful. I mean, I'll give you an example. My best friend throughout high school, uh, from all the way from sixth grade on, best friend. She got married, and I refused to be in a wedding for no reason other than I just found that whole thing alarming, and I just said no. Now, my 60-year-old self would have done it.
Yes.
But my 20-year-old self couldn't manage it. And it was so, she wasn't hurt because she understands me, but it was so wrong of me. That's what that 20-something year old was like. That was hard.
Gotcha. You also said, Auntie Lynn, you said, I've met myself a million times.
I have, because I keep changing, because I need to, because I need to be able to function in this world better than I have in the past.
Sure.
And when you get new obligations and stuff, I kind of rise to the occasion. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, yeah, I guess I can. I can't do this. Yeah, I guess I can. Like, very shy, extraordinarily shy. I went door to door to campaign to be a judge. That chick wasn't there the year before.
Wow.
She showed up,
Mm-hmm.
and I met her, and I liked her, and I kept her. And I keep meeting a new me, because I need to, every year you got to level up a little.
Absolutely. Tell me about the Judge Lynn or the Auntie Lynn you met in 2020. Who was she in 2020?
Far more patient than she thought. Bores easily. I mean, and I thought that I was self-sufficient enough, and I bought a piano, and I started crocheting, and I'm painting, and I'm doing all kinds of stuff. And I thought I was, but I realized that she actually needs socialization, and she she needs all the friends that she found so
Yes,
exasperating in her youth. She actually needs to be with them. So that was the new 2020, people who need people. I found
absolutely.
out I was one of them. Didn't think I was, but I am.
It was just really interesting to learn or to read about you being an introvert because I mean you're on TV,
Right.
you're everybody knows you, and so I felt like I got to know you better through your conversation with Sonali. So
Right.
that was really genuine, and with you referencing needing friends during this time of sheltering in place and not being
Right.
able to just roam about the world, as we knew it
Right.
before. So what are your days look like with your friends and connecting?
I just do it more.
Mhm.
I was actually went out to lunch a couple weeks ago with a friend of mine, and he said, "You're never going to call," and I said, "No, I'm not." I said, "If you want to see me, you got to call because I'm
Yeah.
not going to do it." And and people who know me and love me accept that,
Hmm.
because I always feel like I'm bothering people, because for years I didn't want people to bother me, so I can't get past that.
Hmm.
But I'm always excited when I go and all that kind of stuff. But I just I'm who I am, trying to be better, but I can't let that chick go completely. You
Yeah,
know,
I get it. I get it. So you want to switch just a little bit. You talked about and quoting from your book, you said, "I you can't keep making withdrawals from your wellness bank without occasionally putting something back in, and you can't constantly give care without receiving something, or you'll bankrupt everyone." And a lot of women, that's kind of where we settle. I want
right,
you to speak to us about self-care and your definition of self-care, because we hear the term a lot. It's more than a mani and a pedi.
mhm.
How do you define self-care, and how can you navigate us, through as women taking care of who we are so that we can take care of everybody else?
Yeah. I think the first thing that we need to do, and the first thing that I had to learn to do, is be able to say no without guilt.
Mm,
That kind of self care. And I always felt that, you know, I can do more, I can do more, I can do more, I can do more, I can do more. And you absorb all of these responsibilities, and then you are resentful and you're
yes.
angry. And I did that for years and then became an angry person. And so self care, the first thing I would say is be able to say no without guilt, and understand that people will do what works for them. And
Mhm.
if you absorb responsibility, they will let you, and they won't see it. And then you get stuck in it and you get resentful. And you have to be able to say no without guilt. And don't say no just because you can, because you don't want to do stuff. But say no when it's really too much.
Right.
And and just say, you know what, I just can't do that. Or honey, you need to take care of this, I'll take care of that. And you train people how to deal with you.
Hmm.
And if you train them to say, every time they say, you know what we ought to do, and then you go do it,
Hmm.
you're training them to say, to instruct you to do things all the time. So don't do
Yes.
that. You know, just be able to say no without guilt.
That's a great point. A lot of the pressures, we can take a lot of the pressure off ourselves by saying no. Just
Right. Right.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. So what are you most proud of as a Black woman?
I don't know if I'm, as a Black woman.
Yes.
That's the part of the phrase that's got me stuck.
And
Um,
and can I just kind of
Go ahead.
nudge you a
That'll
little
be
bit?
helpful.
Yeah. Well, on on the eve of inaugurating the first woman of color, the first female vice president, I think that was a win for our team in general. There are
Hmm.
certain things that Black women have been disallowed. We've been labeled. We've been, taught to stay in our place. But as Black women, we're making strides. We are, breaking barriers. So I guess that's where the question came from,
Yeah.
not just as a woman, but as a Black woman and my authentic self. I showed up and I did it.
Right. Yeah. I would think the thing I'm most proud of as a Black woman is the comfort with which I navigated uh, being the only the only Black woman in a circumstance. Like the first law firm that my
Yes.
sister and I integrated in all white school in 1963 and 1964. We were the only two there.
Wow.
Then we went to, they wouldn't allow us, we weren't allowed to swim in the local pool. So we were sent down to the inner city where the Black kids were meaner to us than the white kids because they could see that we had money. My father was an attorney.
Oh
So they
yeah.
would call us, we came home and asked, what's a rich pitch mither father? And they were calling us rich bitch motherfuckers, but we didn't know because we were 8, 9, and 10 or whatever it was.
That was your translation.
Yeah, we said rich bitch motherfucker. What is that? you know, but my ability to be comfortable when my first law firm that I went to, only Black woman, 250 lawyers, only Black woman. Second law firm I went to, only Black woman. My judgeship, first Black person. So, and I do that regularly and fairly easily, I would say.
That's
I really
awesome.
do, because I'm used to it. So I'm proud of that I don't feel uncomfortable in any room you put me in. Well, that's not true. I feel uncomfortable in every room you put me in, but not for the reasons most people are. I'm uncomfortable because I just don't like. Not that I don't like people. I'm just
You can say it.
I'm nervous around people. But the circumstances, no matter how heady they are, as far as intellect or something is concerned, I'm comfortable in, and I'm proud of that. I don't walk in a room and ever think I'm the dumbest one in here.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we are the only Black woman in a lot of circles, in a lot of spaces. So being able to be comfortable in your own skin and for the right reasons, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. So what's your kryptonite?
Oreo double stuffed cookies. Oh,
Do you have some in the house right now?
No, I don't go down the cookie aisle. I can't do it. And I'll eat the whole package. Get sick as a dog, eat the whole package. I can't stop. My husband used to hide them from me, but now I don't buy them anymore. But double stuffed Oreo cookie, kryptonite, and I can get stuck on the couch with a good binge watch.
Ooh. Yeah. What have you been watching?
Show?
What have you watched lately?
I never watched The Wire before.
I haven't either.
Well, everybody watched The Wire. It was like from back in the day, a show about Baltimore. I've been watched 5 years worth of that. It was just really, really good. What else did I binge watch? Ozark. I binge watched.
Yeah.
I binge watched The Sopranos. That's
Did
one of the
you?
best. Oh, and I saw it in real time, and I still watched it.
Wow.
That was a great show.
Gotcha. What book are you reading right now?
I am reading The Overstory by Richard Powers. Outstanding.
Really? Awesome.
And also Behave by I gotta hang on, I gotta look up I don't know who's doing it. Behave is very good too. Outstanding is a novel, and it is written so beautifully. I mean, sometimes I just read the sentences over again because there's a book like that lovely. Yeah. And Behave is about I'm looking for it. Behave, where are you? Oh, I'm also learning Chinese characters, so I have a lot of Chinese books in here because they say if you learn something absolutely unfamiliar to you as you age, it keeps dementia at bay. Hey,
I'm all for it.
So, and I know nothing about. I look at Chinese and it's nothing. I don't know who wrote Behave. I can't find it.
That's okay.
But
we have it noted, so we can do a Google search. So let's talk about love. You said love is better if you do it from a place of strength. That was such an invigorating sentence. It was so simplistic, but it was it just would ground you if you just listen to it in its totality. I want you to talk to us about that. And then you also said relationships are easier when your peace belongs to you and not the other person. That was one of those. I literally felt like I was like you were on one end of the couch and I was on the other, and we were just having a auntie discussion, and you were just sharing stuff. So talk to the people about that who haven't, have yet to read your letter to Sonali.
My parents were very, very, very clear about what it is we should do, and we should become independent, intellectually satisfied, economically grounded people. And we needed degrees, we needed intellect, we needed a purpose and a passion. And I know people used to always say, well, what did your parents tell you about what to look for in a man? They never told me anything.
Wow.
They were making me a whole person. So,
Absolutely.
and I used to say this on the show all the time, women will get attached to a dude who's not treating them well, and cheating on them, and just beg them to love them. And if you would just marry me so I can sign on forever for this mistreatment, because their very safety and sanity and value was attached to getting him. And my thing is, he can get hit by a bus tomorrow. And if he gets hit by a bus tomorrow, how complete would you be? I don't want nobody get hit by a bus. Don't want my man getting hit by a bus. But if my man got hit by a bus, I got a life. I would be sad. I'd be scared. There'd be a lot of negatives in there. And I was horrified because I've been with him longer than I was ever single. But I have enough not to disassemble, because I'm doing enough as a person that my happiness is not solely defined in my relationship with him.
Wow. That's so good. I think we get lost sometimes in relationships and in marriage, and we're trying to compliment him and be his everything and allow him to be our everything. And we forget about us.
And we look at everything we do through his eyes. How's he going to? How he's going to receive this? How is he going to respond to this? What am I doing? How does he feel about it? Well, what if I'm too successful? Is it going to upset him? And that's a hard way to live for both him and you.
Yeah, and that speaks to where you were talking about, when the peace belongs to you.
You can, and peace belonging to you is not a selfish thing, because if you have more peace, you can deliver him more peace. If you're not worried about where he is and looking up his phone codes and all that kind of stuff, then you're delivering a better you to him. So he gets a piece of your peace. It's not just
he gets a piece of your peace. That's a word. That's a word. Something you said resonated with me just now when you said, when people ask you, what your parents teach you about what to look for in a man, and they weren't teaching you that. They were making you a wonderful human to present, and you attract that. You attract the people, that are like you. And something my dad used to say, he used to tell us, you can't be all looks, no books, and can't cook. That was he knew he had 3 reasonably decent looking daughters, but he wanted more for us than that. You can't just look cute. You gotta have the books, and you gotta know how to cook. So
well, I don't know how to cook. Never learned, ain't looking to learn.
You've been married over 30 years, so you're doing stuff.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, choke it down, brother. It's the best I can do.
You know how to order takeout, do something.
Hey, honey, Postmates. It was like manna from God. Like, I'm gonna do DoorDash.
That's awesome. So we talked about owning peace and maintaining peace, and your relationships, and something me and my BFF say, we holler switch when we want to change the subject. So switch. Social media. because we're on social media so much right now, and social media, it creates a false world,
Oh,
honestly. And so many people are sucked into that other people's highlight reels, like,
right,
because we're putting our best stuff on Facebook. You'll take a picture
right.
and you'll take 50 pictures until you get the right one.
And then you mess with the picture once you do. You got your filters on there, you can change the background.
So you said fabulous takes time and effort. Talk to us about that, because a lot of people now, like I said, with social media, there's no such thing as an overnight success.
Right. And
Fabulous takes time.
Yeah. And even with my Instagram, I didn't pay I had to have it, Twitter, Instagram. And I'm older, and I'm like, I don't want to do all this newfangled stuff. And I kind of didn't pay attention to it for the longest.
Right.
And my numbers reflected that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. One, I didn't have the capacity because I don't have nice clothes. I don't, it's not my thing. And so I decided to do an IG page that made me happy, which was I would post something, but the most important part of my post wasn't the picture; it's what I say about the picture.
Yeah.
And
Your social media is hilarious, by the way. I love it.
Yeah, and
It's so real. It's so real.
And that's what I enjoy doing. I have a message, and I don't have a fabulous. I'm not visually fabulous, but I would like to be intellectually fabulous.
You're both.
Well, I do okay visually. I ain't gonna, I know I got a mirror. I know I do okay. But
Auntie Lynn, everybody wants that Auntie Lynn. Like it went from the Tony Braxton haircut to the Auntie Lynn haircut. What you talking about? I have taken a picture into the salon with you on to say, I want this. What you talking about?
I want that cut. Yeah. So, it's just, I'm not, IG is full of fabulousness. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing all these guys on their knees in these perfect settings proposing. And I'm like, my husband was yelling at me when we decided to get married. And then we went to, don't put effort into the picture, put effort into getting ready. Go to a counselor, we went to a marriage counselor before we got married when we weren't having trouble, just to make sure that, and crap still got ugly eventually, but, I just don't get sucked up in that life. It's just not, it's not real. It can become expensive if you get caught up in that. And, I don't know, it doesn't reflect your real value. I mean, some does. Like, I appreciate people who can do pretty things and put together an outfit. I really do. They have a skill I ain't got. But
they got people you can pay to do that.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing when you said know you're weak. That helped me. Oh my God, that helped me so much.
Yeah, everybody's talking about your strengths and this best before. Your weak will trip you up. It really will. So you got to know what it is.
What I concluded, your weak will expose you.
Absolutely. And and the world will see it before you do if you're not looking for it. Because they're looking for it.
Yeah. You had so many good things to say. If you could give every woman a gift, what would it be?
I'd give them a journal so they could write 15 minutes a day. It centers you. It's like a little bit of meditation. It makes you see you as a person and not necessarily as somebody's wife or mother, or you can get lost in that relational, because relationships are very important to us, and I'm always monitoring, gathering information. I know who's sick, who's not sick, all that kind of stuff. And I would give her a journal so she could write and she could have some peace. I know that there were times where I had to write through periods of anxiety, and then it's so beautiful to be able to look back and see who you used to be.
Oh wow.
And compare it to who you are. It's a lovely thing to have for yourself.
That I didn't expect that answer, but I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So I'm making a pledge now when I'm gifting now. I'm gifting journals. Yeah, that's beautiful. What's your superpower?
My superpower.
Hmm.
Hmm. I think my superpower is reading people.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's my mother gave me that superpower. She had it naturally. I
Uh-huh.
she she taught me.
Your the stories you tell about your mom are uh, Duchess, right?
Duchess. There you
I
go.
completely love that name. Oh, that's such a I completely love it. So how'd y'all come about with Duchess?
That it used to be what some guy on a soap opera called his mother back in the 70s. The
Really?
60s and the 70s. And she says, Lynn, when you have children, I don't want them to call me grandma. I want them to call them Duchess because that grandson called that old lady Duchess and she loved it.
I absolutely love that. I call my mom Miss Chancellor. She's so fabulous.
Right?
She's just so fabulous. We grew up thinking that we were rich because of Miss Chancellor. You know,
Didn't let you believe otherwise.
absolutely. I mean, and it's so funny how generationally my daughter, she's like, I thought we were rich. I didn't know. Like, girl, we are.
Yeah, you absolutely. Absolutely. If
Absolutely.
you
So,
felt rich, you are. Yeah.
yeah, that's a beautiful. It was beautiful to see the relationship. It was so generous of you to give us the gift of Dear Sonali. That was just so very generous. And the stories you tell about your boys. I can't imagine. I have one daughter. She was my firstborn, but I can't imagine being in a house full of boys.
It's
Boys tear
difficult.
up stuff and they make noise. Oh God, they make so much noise.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what to do when I first got married. I was like, what is they're fighting? And my husband's like, so they do that. I'm like, no. They'll get finished.
Right. So give us some marriage advice on 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 making it.
Uh, Never put it on cruise control. Always know where it is. You always have to have you have to sit back every once in a while and say, is this thing going the way we want it to go? And be able to address the trajectory of your relationship. And so you can get it back on track because a lot of people end up not talking about what's going wrong because they haven't figured out what it is because they haven't sat back and looked at it. They just know they're unhappy. They just know that every time he or she walks into the room, it's irritating and they don't know why. So you have to step back off of your position, off of the and look at what's happening in the house.
You said something in the book. Also, you said uh when people would come to court, you would tell them, tell me the stories, because you would be able to identify a pattern.
Right. Everybody believes that they know what's wrong. So
Mm,
they would tell me their conclusion. But the
mm.
fact that they couldn't fix it made me believe that they didn't know what was wrong. They knew what they thought was wrong. If you tell me stories, I can see what's happening and I can identify what you did not see.
That's that just that one piece of advice right there can save a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It could really save a marriage. And personally, when I read that and I thought about it, I was like, we were in a pattern. It was a cycle, and you
Mm-hmm.
and then when you can identify the cycle, you can speak to it, you can address it.
Absolutely.
So that was
Absolutely.
amazing. We're almost coming to the end of our interview. I want to. You talked about bucket thinking.
I hate bucket thinkers.
Yeah.
Bucket thinking is something that we do a great deal of today because we are in these silos of our e-world. So the algorithms make sure you see more of people that are like you and more thoughts that are like you, and you become siloed in
Mm,
your opinion and all of that. And if you start thinking in silos or buckets, you can't grow, you will miss facts, you will continue on a path that is not working for you because you have decided, hey, this person isn't right. So you accept everything that they say, or you be, I believe this about X person or that person, and you take everything, I am a right wing, or I am a left wing, or I'm this, I'm that. And then when you list like that, you bat away any idea, and nobody got the whole truth. Nobody. So you lose your ability to gather and deal with information if you think in buckets, and your buckets have labels on them.
Gotcha.
You can't do it.
Yeah, I want to read so there's context on what we're talking about. And you said when you were speaking to Sonali, you said, "You are my daughter. We don't roll like that. We don't sit in the bucket of beliefs and accept everything others put in it. We think, we learn, we wonder why, we look at people and ask." And something you said, I think it was a video on your website, excuse me. And you were talking about a time when you were falling apart, and that just told you, we got to keep it together.
No. Just won't let me fall apart. I remember what I had on, everything in that conversation. I had on this aqua thing with it. Yeah, keep it together. Don't fall apart. It's not going to help.
In the middle of everything that's happening right now, and we're 14 days into 2021, and it's a little rocky, a little bit, just a little bit. Can you give us some words on keeping it together?
Yeah. Consume your information intelligently. Always know what's going on everywhere. Don't just go to one side, look at all of it, but then don't get consumed by the information in and of itself. Most of the day, what's happening in Washington got nothing to do with you. It got nothing to do with what you're going to cook. Ain't nothing to do with what you're going to say to your husband. And it got nothing to do with none of that. So, be informed and do what you need to do. I contributed to a lot of campaigns. I vote. I do all that kind of stuff. But when I'm not solving, or if I'm not pushing, I leave it alone, because I need my husband to have a woman that's comforting and okay. And if I'm calm now and I got a deal tomorrow, I'm in a better space to do so. So if I'm not solving, I set it down.
That's awesome. Well, on a lighter note, tell us a little known fact about you.
I got a black belt in Taekwondo.
So you kicking butt.
Yeah, I used to be in a dance company. I used to play the violin. Is that good enough?
That is. I heard you say you had a piano. Are you self-taught? You've been playing for years?
My mother made me take piano and violin lessons when I was little. And then when my son started taking piano lessons, I took lessons too, because I wanted to help him. And then I just kept taking them. But I only did it for like a year or so. So now I'm just teaching myself. But yeah.
Gotcha.
I wish I'd have paid attention to my mother and really learned how to play. But
right.
When you're 8 and 9 years old, you're not ready. Right.
As far as I got my musical career was playing the clarinet in high school.
Right. Yeah.
That was about it. So my last question: if you could wake up anywhere tomorrow, where would it be?
The Maldives. The Maldives. Out on that, get one of them huts that's out over the water. Yes.
And
Maldives.
Just chill.
And
that's
just
awesome.
chill.
That's awesome. Judge Lynn, Auntie Lynn, it's been my pleasure to just be able to sit with you a little bit here. I just want to invite everybody to go to her website, order her books. I mean, there's so much wisdom for everyday living. So many nuggets that I took away. I appreciate you so very much. The role you play in all of our lives. The hope, the inspiration, the you can do this about you that you carry. Just want to say I appreciate you so much, and thank you for allowing us this interview.
Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed it. It was good talking to you. Tell Brian I said hello, and thank you for hooking us up. We appreciate it.
So,
Have a great day.